morning. Good morning and happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How are you? How are you? Look how pale I am. It's because I've been stuck inside working. And I would, ew, my glasses are dirty. I need to clean them off. I would go outside and work, but there's been all of these UV warnings and heat advisories, and I am just way too Irish for that. Like, I do not have enough Latina in me to make up for that, like, at all. I can't find my glasses thing. Like, see my bog bag? Isn't it nice? That's one of the things that I have been stuck inside working on. Was I got an open call to make a little ad for this wonderful little organizer pouch that clearly I did not put my lens cleaner in. Hi. I've also been doing some other things, and we're going to talk about that in the announcements section. But how are you? Did you have a good 4th of July, the 250th anniversary of this great nation of ours? How are you? We had a good time. We actually had a barbecue with neighbors. We neighbored it up. That's very unlike. I'm very city, you know. I'm from the inner city, so I don't neighbor. I'm the person who looks out the window and sees if anybody is there, and then I take off running. Well, as best as I can run, you know. But we got a great topic today and I did not do a good job. Wow, these are horribly filthy. We've got a great topic today that I'm really excited to talk about. Hollywood's got a problem, man. I mean, we all know that they have a problem. I'm sorry. I'm just like, where the F did I put my glasses cleaner? Hollywood's got a lot of problems. But they seem to be super blind, deaf, and other things. Stupid when it comes to comic book movies and superheroes and all of it, because I mean, to us it's not that hard, it's not that complicated, but man, they just really don't get it, do they? So we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to talk about why Superman didn't make the money that it really should have. Like, a Superman movie really should have just knocked it out of the park. Why Supergirl is absolutely failing. These are so filthy. Where's that fog? Wow, it is hot in here. Like, seriously, it's very warm. Supergirl is failing miserably. And we're going to look at the numbers. All superhero movies that they have put out recently just haven't done well, you know? X-Men 97 did great. The first season did amazing. I'm not sure how the numbers are on season 2 with Bo not being in charge of the final cut. I do see that people are really loving it. My opinion is his original organization structure of it would have been better. We also have, you know, Spider-Man Noir. That show was great. But other than that, superhero properties are just not doing well. And what do they all have in common? Hollywood just completely like, what's the point? I can't find it. What do they like about these things? They don't know. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about what it is about superhero characters that we actually like, what it was about the comics, not just superheroes in general, but specifically DC characters, because they seem to screw those up worse than any other. they seem to just kind of lump them all together and, you know, it's like, oh, well, all superheroes are the same. Men, women, Marvel, DC, all the same. Whatever. But with that said, let's dive in and check in with the chat. Now, remember, guys, all the super chats and members of the channel do get their good mornings first. And in general, you get your chats acknowledged first. And how I'm trying to structure it now, sorry, it's very warm in here. Like we have our air conditioning on. Like I said, it's been ridiculously hot in the Midwest lately. Like we've had UVA warnings out the wazoo. But how I'm structuring it now to try and keep us rolling along is I will kind of designate times, after segments to check in with the chat. So don't get worried. I'm not neglecting you. I'm just trying to keep us structured. Okay. But of course, super chats and members of the channel, members of the Nerdling Army, will get responses from your commander and queen first. And that goes for your good mornings, super chats, and members of the Nerdling Army do get your good mornings first. So let's see who we have this morning. Oh, of course, we have Ensign Deranged Lunatic. Good morning, Ensign Deranged Lunatic. How are you? I hope you had a good 4th. And then we have good morning, Lieutenant Fan Cheered. Good morning, hashtag save Stargate. How are you? Do we have anyone else? Oh, and we've also got a $2 super chat from Lieutenant Fan Cheered. Thank you very much. Nonsensical studio executives are the problem. You ain't wrong, friend. You ain't wrong. We get to it. And we have Lieutenant Backyard TARDIS. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. How are you? All righty. And let's go back to the top. Good morning, Dan the man. Good morning. I'm Dan the girl. Nice that we have that distinction. Buenos dias, Fernando. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Carl Peachy. When did I start liking Superman movies, comics, or television? Oof. Probably Christopher Reeve, the movie. I was very little. Very, very little. So it's hard to tell. This stuff was always like a part of my life. So it's always very hard to tell. Good morning, BL Blankenship Comics. I personally found the Superman movie meh. My wife and I weren't interested in the Supergirl movie. I'm about story first. I am too. And we are going to talk about it. Good morning, Cosmortal Comics. Good morning. And Samar. Good morning. Watch Chemical Romance. Recognize that's Grant Morrison in the video. Remember a couple months ago, he clowned Damon Lindelof and Hack Gun for their horrendous looking lanterns. Good for him. Good for him. Good for Grant Morrison. I don't agree with him on everything, but I agree with him with a lot of comic book stuff. In fact, within arm's length, like within reaching distance, I have a Grant Morrison omnibus on Wonder Woman. ASMR, 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 ASMR. Am I doing it right? Am I doing ASMR right? Am I supposed to say ASMR, ASMR? All right, guys. Oh, thank you for being here. You know that means if we've checked in with the chat, we said good morning to everyone. that means it is time. I love it. It's just like, oh man, it's so happy. So that means it's time for my docket. It's time for announcements. Announcements. Okay, first and foremost, I know we were supposed to have a members only stream last night. And I'm very sorry. I had a stress headache for about 3 days. It was absolutely miserable. Um, so I wasn't able to comply. I did drop into the members only Discord and explain, but I had an idea because Hollywood being what it is, you know, the industry is very fickle, back and forth. Um, the head of department decided I wasn't needed on the film this week. It is what it is. My biggest bummer about the whole thing is not getting to hang out with Brian, work with him on set for a week. Do I have makeup on my sleeve? Sorry, I get distracted. Stop that, Danielle. Yeah, that was sad. And I found out like super late at night, like really late. I was supposed to leave like the next day, and I found out really late at night. But that's okay. Just bummed that I get to hang out with my idol, mentor, friend, all that stuff. And I'm still going to get to see him. I need to work out meeting up with him so I can get the vampire sculpture busts that he made for Midwest Gothic so we can auction them off. But yeah, that's not happening. But I had an idea because part of the stress headache was I was trying to balance the film. I was also working on the ad for the Bogs and Ends organizer pouch here, which is pretty cool. ASMR, ASMR, ASMR. I have to go through rewrites again on Last Dance of the Hesperides. It is what it is. I got to edit Big Barda, and then I have the live streams with you guys, and then I was adding a members only stream to that as well with the weekly watch parties and my family. And I'm one person doing all of it with the 3 live streams a week as well. So I had an idea. What if, because I was also live streaming on TikTok too to try and make some extra cash for the comic book selling skincare. So if you like my face, ladies, follow me on TikTok because I sell this stuff. I love it. It works really great. Anyway, I had an idea. Tell me what you think because I think it's a good idea and it would help me a lot with my stress level. And I feel like it would add a nice bonus for members, give you guys more for what you are paying for to help support the channel. What if our Friday show that is at a different time? Anyway, it's at 1:00 Eastern. What if our Friday show was a members only stream? So our Wednesday and Thursday shows are, public as usual. But the Friday show at 1 p.m. Eastern would be for members. That would solve 2 problems for me. And that would help a lot. But I was thinking of doing that. That would I think that would work. Good morning, DK Bones. I'm gonna move this over. So anywho, that's what I was thinking about that. Also, amongst all of that, you heard that I do have to go into rewrites again for the last dance of the Hesperides, and it is going to be substantial. I feel like I'm going to have to, do I have a wah for myself? I have this. I need a wah. What? DK Bones became a member? Well, you guys know what that means when someone becomes a member.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Nerdling Army clearance approved. Access granted. Welcome, nerdlings.
Welcome to the Nerdling Army, Lieutenant DK Bones. Good to have you. Good to have you. Thank you so much. So I'm taking that as, yes, Fridays, members only. All right, let's do that. Hot dog. Hot dog. All right, guys. So it's going to be a little bit longer for Hesperides to come out, but I'm trying to be so cool with that. Because I want it to be right and I want it to be good. So there's that information. If you are a fan of Anne Rice, particularly Memnoch the Devil, I'm taking inspiration from that. Like, that's one of my favorites. And, you know, when I had the idea for this book, when I started first writing it, there was always kind of this thing that was reminding me of it in my head. So there's that. And if you are a member of the Patreon, I'm going to put that link up for you guys. If you're a member of the Patreon, which gets all the behind the scenes access for the comic book, my comic book, which is live on Fund My Comic right now, the campaign. But if you are a member of the Patreon, where you get all the behind the scenes access, the exclusive merch and all that stuff, I uploaded some thumbnails last night of covers. So you guys get to vote on the first cover that Evan starts working on. I'm very, very excited. Go check it out. If you're not a member, you should go sign up. There's 4 different tiers. The lowest one's like $3, and everyone gets, I think everyone gets to vote on this one. Do they? Yeah. And we had another suggestion for a 7th idea, and I sent that off to Evan this morning. So we'll see what he says, what his ideas, because this is very much collaborative between Evan and I. But anyway, check out the Patreon. Go look at the cover options. I need you guys to help me with that stuff because I'm not so good with it. The writing, yes. The picking out, like, the cover, I'm like, I need your help. And you can find that at patreon.com/comics. And again, one of the perks of that is it's the only place you can get Midwest Gothic, Veiled Legacy merch, and you get it every 3 months for the first year of your membership. So you're welcome. My little gift to you. And of course, the link for the whole campaign that you can back or pre-order. Wait, I'm a stupid fan. You can pre-order the comic Failed Legacy Book 1 Midwest Gothic right now for as little as $10 for a digital copy. At the link going by your screen. It's in the description below. And of course, today I will be working on the big Barda breakdown. I'm using new editing software. I'm trying that out. I used the new editing software to make that ad I was telling you guys about. So there's a bit of a learning curve since I'm going from Adobe Premiere Pro to these other new things. I'm apparently I have too big of files for Canva, and there's certain things I can't do with Canva. So I was like, nuts. I do have to use like DaVinci Resolve or Movavi or whatever that's called. So it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. We have new people in the chat. So let's check in before we move into headlines. Oh, another $2 from Fancheered. Lieutenant Fancheered, thank you so much, sir. Sounds good. Or add an hour after Friday one for members. We'll see. I really like the idea of making Friday for members only. I think I've seen a few other channels do that. It would seriously, it would help me out. It would help me out a lot. I have so much to do right now with just me running the channel. We'll see. I'm gonna put a poll up. How about that? How about that? I'll put a poll up. And I'll put it everywhere. And then I'll combine the polls and see where we're at. Bye-bye. DL likes it. And thank you again for the $2 super chat, Lieutenant Fancheered. I appreciate you. All right. Good morning, Alex Clark. Welcome. BL Blankenship Comics says, I get the whole writing thing. I was a notable songwriter, really. Literary Western horror author and began writing publishing comics in 2024. I have 20 or more comics published in 28. Really? Wow, we should talk. Think you should do a watch party of Smallville or Superman and Lois or any old DC show. Well, those are for members. And we do those over on the Discord. We do have a Discord that is exclusively for members. And I open it up, right now. Well, we watched a couple of episodes of Spider Noir, and we've been watching season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. But usually, and we had Mama Penny last time, and we had Fancheered, and we had DL. Usually it's just the two of us. But usually when everyone pops in, I say, hey, what do you guys want to watch? And I leave it open to everyone because chances are I have access to streaming services, shows, or movies or whatever that you guys don't have. So that's my way of giving to you guys. So, like, what? Don't want to hang out for 2 hours? Thank you for another $2, Lieutenant Fancheered. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Let's check in with some headlines. All right, let's check in with a couple headlines, just a couple before we get into our main topic, because why is this being so weird? Here we go. Because I think it's going to be a really juicy topic. I think we're really going to get into it. We're really going to discuss. So, oh, one more chat. I promise. Says, I know it's for members. I was a member, money screw. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, guys, the watch parties are Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern over on the members only Discord. Because we have a new member, I will post the link again after the stream over on the YouTube members only community. And when we pop in on Thursday evenings, we just kind of hang out, chat for a bit, and see what we feel like watching. Sometimes we just keep watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and sometimes we feel like something else. So there you go. Hey, and look at that. Look at that.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Nerdling Army clearance approved. Access granted. Welcome, nerdlings.
Welcome back to the Nerdling Army, Lieutenant Carl Peachy. Thank you so much. It's going to be a good watch party this Thursday. All right, guys, let's check out a couple of headlines so we can dive into this juicy topic. So it's getting ready. This is so sad for me because I really enjoy From. I think From is a great series. It's well written. The suspense absolutely kills me. I still have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on in this series. Are they all dead and in purgatory? Are they in some kind of pocket dimension? Are they where nightmares and dreams come from? I don't know. But it is a trip, man. This series is a trip, and I highly recommend it. And they are filming the final season right now, the 5th season. I wish they would go back to how they did it back in the day and just film these series when the season is airing, you I don't get that. Like, I know sometimes, like, the Duffer Brothers are like, "Well, it's gotta be good, so you gotta work on it. You shouldn't worry about that. You gotta build suspense." Like, you're not building suspense anymore when you're taking 2, 3 years in between these seasons. You're just driving people nuts, and you're making them forget about it. Like, I don't wanna have to sit and rewatch everything every single time. I don't have that kind of time on my hands. Like, honestly, I don't. But From is really good. It's really good, and, I'm gonna be sad to see it go. But it is a smart move to go out while it's still good, to end while it's still good, and not beat it to death, you know drag it out, jump the shark, and lose viewers and money and kill it, make the story ridiculous and awful, and then, So it's been great and weird on set. MGM's From ahead the final season. So has many of you, or have many of you, checked out this show? If you have any theories or speculations, I would love to hear it, because at a loss. But they're filming in Canada, where they do a lot of the time cheaper. It says I'm just glossing over it, looking for something in specific. But I guess I can't find it. Well, I don't want to talk spoilers and stuff. These guys, oh my gosh. It's so weird. Am I looking choppy to you guys? Did I start looking choppy? Eh. But Harold Perrineau, he was walking through the streets ahead of filming with his bell that he rings in the show to let them know that the sun's going down, get inside, to let them know they were starting to film season 5, the final season. So, all right. Let me know if you have any theories, any speculations about it, what you think about this series. I'm gonna miss it, but again, it's a good idea to end while it's still good, or else we're gonna get another Game of Thrones, another Stranger Things. You know, I don't know how I feel about Lost. I feel like Lost eventually gave me anxiety. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It just started really stressing me out. I'm like, actually, we all died in the plane crash and we're in heaven. Like, what? I don't. Did you die in the plane crash or did you die later? And then you all met in heaven? I'm so confused. What does it mean? Lost. All right, guys. I'm not going to play the thing twice a segment, but we'll check in. Thank you again for another $2 Super Chat fan cheered from Love It. Honestly, jumped a few times. It's got me a couple of times. And let me tell you something. It is hard to get me. If someone gets me with a jump scare or, you know, I'll sit there like, oh, good job. Yeah, good job. But yeah, they've got me a couple times. And what's her name? His daughter-in-law, his son's wife, who had the not baby. Her whole thing, her story, her character arc has been just, I am fascinated by that. Like, what is going on with that? What is going on with that? I need to know. And they are promising that we will have answers. So they lost the buildup with Stranger Things, that horrible final season. Hard agree. Like the first half, my daughter and I were into. Then the second half came and we were like, what was that? What was that? So bad. Yep. Lieutenant Carl Peachy. Yep. Same goes for Game of Thrones. But to me, the worst series finale was The Flash. Never seen it. I hate with a fiery, blazing passion the CWDC shows. Except for Superman and Lois. I hate the CWDC shows. Terrible. The ending of Lost made no sense to me anyway. Thank you, Ensign DL. I was extremely confused At what point did they die? Were they always dead? And if they died in the plane crash, what was the point of any of it? Right? I am not. I have not. It kind of lost me. Like, I'm bored with it. I got bored with it in season 1. So I haven't gone back. You know what? You're right. Good morning, Omari. Good morning. Stargirl was not bad. She was a great casting for Stargirl also. Her and Luke Wilson were I forgot about that show. It didn't originally start on the CW, to be fair. It's another clip I need to add. By the way, I have not been playing clips.
Because that's what heroes do.
You know what? That's usually my go-to for random super chats, but my super chats have not been random today. They've all come from the same person. So I feel like I should have been a lot more specific with the choice I made in clip for a super chat. So, fan cheered, this is for you.
Colonel O'Neill, what the hell are you doing? In the middle of my backswing?
There you go. Save Stargate. Anywho, Stargirl was good. Smallville was not a CW show. It was a WB show. It came out in 2001, the same year as Enterprise, and it was done by the WB. Difference. But Stargirl was a DC Universe show originally, but then DC Universe went. It was Stargirl and Titans and Doom Patrol. All of those were on their own streaming service, and it went under. Because I was a subscriber. I was super excited about that. It was like, yay. Very cool. Hey, Omari has gifted someone a membership to the Nerdling Army. Yeah, that's right. And Swamp Thing. I don't know why you just don't join yourself. Fridays are going to be members only streams, I think. I don't know. You should just do that. You should just do that. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
But anyway. Moving on so we can get to our main topic. Yeah, but the thing is with gifted ones, they don't recur. They end after a month unless you say, yes, I want this to recur. See how that works? I forgot which. I thought you said you forgot which channel you. Ignore me. I don't eat food anymore. I starve myself. I forgot which channel it was on. I watched Smallville when it originally aired. I love that show. It was so good. I've watched it front to back so many times. It's so good. Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex Luthor. He was so good. And Tom Welling. Does everyone remember when Brandon Ruth was cast as Superman in it was like 2005 when he was originally cast, late 2004, 2005 when he was originally cast, when it was announced, and people were freaking out because they wanted Tom Welling on the big screen as Superman. They were freaking out. Like, it was a big deal. You think people were doing Twitter petitions and stuff over Grant Gustin to be the Flash? That is nothing. Nothing compared to how the Smallville fans reacted to Brandon Ruth being cast. So it was rather ironic, or should I say, cyclical, that it was kind of full circle moment that he ended up being on the CW with DC Legends of Tomorrow, and then wearing the Kingdom Come super suit. So I personally think Brandon Ruth was not a bad Superman. I don't think we've really had a bad Superman. We've had some. I think Nicolas Cage would have been a terrible Superman. I don't care what anybody says. That's my stance. I'm glad that just never happened. He just doesn't look like Superman. He doesn't have the build. He doesn't have the jaw, the head shape. Come on. Nothing in his face tells me Superman, Kal-El of Krypton, none of that screams that to me. But I think we've had some decent casting as Superman. Let's get this last headline out, and we're gonna move on over to our main topic, because this is a good transition. Stephen Moffat was Doctor Who. He is Doctor Who, in my opinion. Everyone who came after him was just hot garbage. He's the only one in modern era of who truly understood the assignment. So he's saying the minimum condition of anything you write should be entertainment. People don't watch shows or movies to get your thoughts on things. They just want you to provide 90 minutes of entertainment. That's it. Good for him. I shared this, and I said, we live in a day and age where this has to be explained to people. Like, that's pathetic. It's pathetic. There is a saying, an adage, a lesson for writers. And it's that you should never tell your audience what they should think or how they should think. You should never tell your readers or your audience how they should think. You should give them something to think about. There is a very important distinction there. Good morning, Ensign Loki. Yeah, but Moffat hired Chibnall and Davis to kill Doctor Who, so whatever. I can't imagine, with Stephen Moffat being who he is and how he operates, I can't imagine that he hired them knowing what they would do to the property. When they worked under him, they had to do what he said. put on a good face, play along. But then when he was out of the picture and they were in charge of things, they could do whatever they wanted. Daddy was gone. We can have a party now. I got a guy to buy his beer. I got a fake ID. Let's go. You could lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink is kind of what I'm saying. And that is what the whole thing should always be. But what Hollywood has been doing and what Chibnall and RTD have done this whole time is taking the horse's head and just like holding it underwater. He's screaming, "Drink! Drink, you motherfucker, drink!" That's not entertaining. Like at all. That's drowning. You're drowning the audience in your ideology. And if that's the case, you shouldn't be an entertainment writer. You should be a journalist or a biographer, an activist, not a fiction writer or a screenwriter. If you're going to be a screenwriter, you should write a very specific type of thing and not entertainment. So, but I agree with Moffat entirely. Yes, fiction and nonfiction, every story has to have a lesson in it, but it's one that you should present, not shove, not choke them with. Like here, what do you think of this? Look at this right here. What do you think? What do you think of this right here? Not, I'm going to bludgeon you with this until you like it. But it seems to be a bit of a theme. It's what we're doing across the board for every single film, movie. That's the same thing, Danielle. Film, I meant to say TV show, series, streaming, whatever. That's what we're doing now. We have, or Hollywood has forgotten how to write, how to produce. And it really makes you wonder, like, why? Like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Like with the whole thing with the Odyssey. He who does not know his history is doomed to repeat it. We live in an era where our kids aren't really being taught in school anymore. For the last like 4 or 5 years, my daughter has come home and told me that she's not being taught in class. She goes to class and she's told, "Okay, open your Chromebook and do what it says." Well, she's like, "I have problems with geometry. I would like you to walk me through it. I would like you to teach me geometry." Can't do that. The state says, here's your syllabus. Use the Chromebook. Okay. So if they're not being taught really in class and they're stuck on TikTok, like just, and they're believing what celebrities and influencers are telling them, then it's not that big of a leap to assume that if they watch a historical fiction fantasy like the Odyssey, they might actually believe that it's historically accurate. So if we continue to do that without any kind of disclaimers or what have you, since we're not teaching our kids anymore, we end up erasing our history. And if we erase our history, we repeat our history and we make all those same mistakes again. And all that growth we made as a species becomes irrelevant. And we have to do it all over again. Our art, our culture is an extension of who we are. It is a mirror. So, this is how we see ourselves, or how they see us. Is it? I want to see how you guys think about this. Then we're going to move on to our main topic. All right. Lieutenant Carl Peachy, you would think that Russell T. Davies would have the same mindset, but his ego always gets in the ways. Oh, I wasn't fired. The show's not canceled. I wasn't fired. Show's not canceled. There's just no more. There's just no more. No more. No, I'm sorry. I had to go full Bad Wolf Rose. Russell T. Davies is just a pompous ass. He's so unbelievably self-indulgent, involved. Everything he has written for Doctor Who is his fan fiction. It's entirely his fan fiction, a self-insert fan fiction. I feel the exact same way about whomever it is that is writing the AMC's Interview the Vampire. It is not Anne Rice's Interview the Vampire. I'll tell you that much for free. It sure ain't. It is someone's fan fiction. And that's Russell T. Davies. He was like, but what if I was Doctor Who? A magnificent puff who travels all of time and space. Lovely, lovely Nancy boy. Just happens to be Doctor Who. What if? That's Russell T. Davies. So, didn't Davies bring Doctor Who back in 05? So he would think he would be like the old RTD, but yeah, Daddy was gone. Scenario plays well. They definitely became activists. That's why we get shows like Rings of Power, MCU shows like Ironheart. Oh yeah, Ironheart happened. I forgot again. House of the Dragon, or movies like Supergirl and the Odyssey, Snow White, or the Marvels. Pardon me. I wouldn't quite lump House of the Dragon in there, because whereas season 2 kind of dipped down, season 3 has just toit. Season 3's been toit. Yes, they've changed the Valarians, but the writing has been toit. Okay? It's not all activism. They've got toit writing. I'm going to stop saying toit. Lieutenant Backyard TARDIS. Funny thing is, it's Tom Welling who is unwilling to put the Superman suit on. Why can't people, fans, whomever, respect these actors' decisions? I don't get that. If someone doesn't want to do it, they don't want to do it. Let them live their lives. Lieutenant Carl PG. Kids in school can't even read at their grade level. They would struggle with books like Dick and Jane. Do we have more? Oh, we do. RTD hired Moffat. Ah, see, I don't know all this stuff. But Lieutenant Backyard TARDIS does. It's the one good thing Russell T Davies did. Whatever happened to timey-wimey? It's not cancelled, but in competitive tender, like War Between Land and Sea, a show you can't watch anywhere if you don't live in Britain. I mean, there's a way. You just have to sail the high seas. And it's a snore. It is so bad. It's awful. It's bad. It's so bad. I get defenders on X with the accuracy of the Odyssey, but ignore Elliot Page as sign on, who is not in the Odyssey. Oh, here's the thing. We're not going to do that. We're not going to call her that because we're not going to call her ghetto. How about that? Because Lupita Nyong'o is a very lovely woman. Now she's had some. The thing she said at the press junket was just absolutely stupid. Like we got to talk to these people. Like this was almost 3,000 years ago. Homer is the father of modern storytelling. He is the father of modern fiction. He is the father of the hero's journey. Without Homer, she would not have a job. I would not have a job. None of us would have jobs in the industry. There would be no comic books. There would be no fiction. Not as it is today. And to say a really stupid thing like you would scold Homer about his lack of women getting time on the page, enough time on the page in the Odyssey is just asinine. Just absolutely asinine. Like, first of all, this was 3,000 years ago almost. This was a completely different society. We have evolved quite a bit since then, on top of the fact that the majority of the story was men at war. 20 years of these men at war. And if I remember correctly, we had plenty of time with his wife. She had to deal with a lot of shit. And Cersei and the sirens. I mean, there was women, but the protagonists, they were men. It was a man story about men. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And again, it was almost 3,000 years ago. Get the fuck over it. It holds zero bearing on your perceived slight. Homer did not slight you. No, he created your entire industry in a roundabout way. Like, come the fuck on. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, when I originally saw the post, I did have like a brain fart because, again, I'm doing like 300 things at the same time. And I was like, the whole story is about her character. That's the Iliad. that's the Helen of Troy. My brain immediately went there. But Odysseus, that's why Odysseus had his Odyssey home. because he was there. Helena Troy. So it's just absolutely idiotic. Really stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. Anywho. Good morning, Billy Power Max. Good entertainment sportsmanship is supposed to be give the audience what they want and leave them wanting more. Correct. Dave Messi, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, this man right here is a legend in Danny lore. An absolute legend in Danny lore. He gave me one of the coolest nicknames I ever had, and I still use it to this day. It was the first handle I used for the show. I don't think Dave Macy knows that. No, he doesn't. He started calling me many, many years ago. We're talking almost 20 years ago. Okay. He started calling me Danny 5000. And I was like, why did you call me that, sir? And he said, because when I think of you, I think badass. And what makes anything sound more badass than adding a 5000 to it? So I was Danny 5000. And I've been Danny 5000 ever since. It is so good to see you, my friend. In almost 7 years of doing this is the first time you've popped in. And I am just like, so good to see you. So absolutely good to see you, my friend. Rock on. Thank you again for the $2 super chat, Chauvinist Age. They were not PC for work today. I will give you another.
I'm Major Robert Thornburg. And you are? Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Your dog tags say otherwise. They're lying.
They're lying. All right, guys. Thank you again for the $2 super chat. And Dave, it is so good to see you. I'm so happy you're here. That just tickled me. I think it is time. It is time. All right, let's get into it. This is something I have seen a lot over the last few days. I mean, ever since Supergirl hit theaters, what, 2 weeks ago? A couple weeks ago? It dropped 80% after its first week. Second week, it dropped. The next weekend, it dropped 77%. Now it's hitting digital on the 28th of this month. And James Gunn is uncharacteristically quiet on social media. While this is going on, they start dropping posters for lanterns, which they have completely missed the point of Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan as well. You know, every time James Gunn has got a criticism about any of them, he fights back on Threads or Twitter, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, well, my family talk like this." No, they didn't, you jackass. He has not said a word. Not a word. And then you have who was it? Was it Screen Rant who said it? The magazine, like the website, and Matt Yarbo, who said that just because Supergirl has crashed and burned, and because Superman didn't do well, or as well as it absolutely should have, doesn't mean that James Gunn should be removed or, fired. Bro, I don't think Matt Yarbo's ever owned a business. No, no. He has lost this company probably close to $2 billion at this point. A lot of money. He's lost a lot of money for Warner Brothers and DC Studios. Do you genuinely think they're going to keep him around? I've been telling you this for almost a year now, that my sources that are close to this situation or know the situation have said, it's kind of like the worst kept secret, that once the Ellisons step in, they don't want him. Like they don't want him. They don't like what he's doing. He's not making money. That's the goal, is to make money. Money, 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 money. I mean, in the busiest movie theater in LA, or Burbank, or Santa Anita, I think Chris said, they took down the big cardboard display, the cutout display, you know what I mean, for Supergirl, 2 days after it premiered. And Chris and a few other people have told me that usually those things stay up at that location for quite a long time, quite a while. So this is not a good sign. Supergirl hasn't even made $100 million worldwide. Do you have any idea how bad that is? That is bad. That is DC fans speaking very loudly that they do not like what is being done with their heroes. Why? What is it that we don't like what they're doing with their heroes? What's the thing here? This hair. Maybe I should just cut it all off again. I don't think I'll do that. Now, I have gotten into debates about this multiple times. And clearly, it is not the case for all DC characters. But for DC heroes, they all share a very specific trait. They are true heroes. They're aspirational. I gotta fix this. It's driving me. There's like this one hair that was stuck. I'm gonna try and pull up some visual aids. Okay. But DC Comics and Marvel Comics are similar in the vein that they're both comic book publications, and they both have superheroes, super powered vigilantes that team up, have groups. You know, one has metahumans, the other has mutants, and they do steal from each other. However, there is a very big difference between the two. And a lot of people don't seem to understand what that is. They don't seem to understand what the real difference between Marvel and DC is. It's not just storytelling. It's not the costumes. It's not the names. It's not Superman or Sentry. You know, Deadpool or Deathstroke. It's relatability versus aspirational. We don't need our DC heroes to be aspirational. I mean, we don't need our DC heroes to be relatable. We need them to be aspirational. So, let me pull it up. Let's see. DC heroes. Just gonna pull up a website. So we've got on the, oh God. Okay, 4th of July morning, I was on Comic Aficionados, and I got really embarrassed because they asked me about reading certain comics. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really been reading modern comics for the last 20 years because they've just been awful. I'm reading the absolute stuff because it's wonderful. But the last 20 years, I mean, honestly, the New 52 really turned me off. The New 52 like did me in. I was like, "Oh, fuck this." What they did to Wonder Woman, I that was just, the New 52 upset me so bad. I was embarrassed, and they were like, "No, we get it. We get it." But then I started discovering indie comics and all that. But I'm going to share my screen. Look at this. Look at what they had. This is the homepage for DC.com characters. Peacemaker, Vigilante, Creature Commandos, Harley Quinn, heroes of the small screen. DC used to have a very clear definition of what warranted a hero. And it was aspirational. Being a protagonist is not the, that's not the thing. That's not what I'm talking about. Here are DC heroes. True DC heroes. Their main heroes in the DC universe are aspirational. The role of DC heroes is to give you someone to look up to, someone who is almost unattainably godlike good, like Jesus. I get what you're saying. Like Lobo is an anti-hero too, but follow me. I'm delicious. I can't help it. That what's his face, the Irish dude, he cracks me up. But follow me. I'm on a journey. And this journey should have notes, I feel. Because I am a flibberty gibbet and I am supposed to do things a certain way, and I haven't. You guys distract me. I know that I said, this is what I'm going to do. I have certain times when I'm going to check the chat, and that's why I made these things. So I need to do that. I need to do that to keep us rolling and stay on target. But anyway, my point is, when DC Comics started, and the thing that has differentiated it from Marvel was that relatability word. That's Marvel. Marvel is about relatability and ambiguity. That's what makes characters relatable, is that ambiguity, that gray area. What would happen to average Joe if he got bit by a radioactive spider? See what I'm saying? But with DC, Superman, for example, is not meant to be relatable. He's meant to be aspirational. We are meant to look up to him and desire to be more like him. He is to set a standard, good for the sake of it. Good, like I said, on a level of almost unachievable, godlike levels. We should aspire to reach such heights, and their villains, like Lex Luthor, it's supposed to be that same kind of idea, but in reverse. He's supposed to be so bad, so evil, dark side as well, that you never, ever, ever want to go so low. We should never look at them and say, oh, look at that. They're just like us. That's what Marvel is for. You have options. We like DC because it is like this. Hal Jordan is the most honorable of honorable men. Batman is the most dedicated. Wonder Woman is the fiercest, most loving and honest of all. And you have the Flash, who has a heart of gold. He's very innocent, I would say. He's just a heart of gold. Funny, but genuinely just very sweet. Aquaman talks to fish. I don't have much there for Aquaman, but you get my point, right? It's funny when people talk about me like I'm not here. Yes, she knows. New 52. She knows. Okay. Thank you. She knows. Thank you. So while we're jumping ahead and I'm not listening to my own rules, Thank you very much, Travis Mitchell, for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Long time no see, friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was trying
Jenny,
to
what
click
is
something.
best in life?
To crush the rumors, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the nerds.
Okay. So, back to it. Back to it. I do like Lieutenant Loki's response. Jeff Johns did that for social credit. Like, ouch for Aquaman talks to fish. The DCAU Aquaman was, he was pretty cool. He really was. He was pretty cool. This is so dumb. I feel like you're missing my point here. Did you relate to him? Did you want to go nuts and kill everybody? Was that something you saw in yourself? I feel like you're missing a point. Hey, Nerdmigos! Same thing happens with Disney Star Wars. They don't understand myth. They confuse believable with real. Correct. This is the point I am trying to make. DC is mythological. They're mythological. They're aspirational, mythological. You can have stories where Hal gets infected by parallax and kills half of everything. But he comes back. The why of it. It's the why. They don't understand the point. We like the mythology. We like the getting back up. We like having people to look up to. You can't bring them straight out the gate with the parallax story, which is exactly what they're going to do with lanterns. We want good. We have had the deconstructed, pissed off at the world, doesn't want to be a hero bullshit for years. They have done this over and over and over again with the same results. I missed it. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. There we go. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. This is the why of it. Trashing heroes in new production. Thank you. I am so sorry. And I will make up for that. Let's see. I'll give you, how about...
Resigning? What for?
So I can do this.
There you go. I'm sorry. They don't understand the mythology. Marvel did well because they did exactly what Marvel is about. It's grounded. It's relatable. It's ambiguous. It's our world. It's our world. It's our cities. Mostly New York, but our cities. DC is Gotham, Metropolis, Coast City, Central City, National City. It's got all these made up cities, made up places. It has mythology. And these characters are almost unattainable on every end of the spectrum. And that's what we like about them. We like Superman as this cornball. He's so good. And when I was younger, in my more rebellious days, which is when I got all the, tattoos and piercings and all of that, um, I didn't find Superman that great, that interesting. I thought he was too one-dimensional. I thought he was boring because he was one-dimensional, because he didn't have flaws. But that was me not understanding the point of Superman. The point of Superman is a light, is a hope. Look at the panel with Superman and the panel of Batman. Yes, Batman is the Dark Knight. And he's got trauma, and he's sad boy, and he's got problems and all this stuff. But he's still aspirational. Why? Because despite everything he has been through, despite his internal could combust at any moment things, he still dedicates every second of his life and energy to others, to protecting the innocent, while putting small children in danger. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just making jokes. He still pushes himself to the very limits of human restraint and human capability, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it, in the pursuit of defense and protection of others, of strangers. That's dedication, man. That is absolute dedication. Superman is his contrast. Like Batman is to the shadows. Superman is the light. We have this beacon we can look up to show us that, yeah, I know you got really bummed out that thing you wanted to do didn't work out for you. We'll use me for an example. I was supposed to work on set, and it didn't work out. And I would love to just mope, be bummed, and wallow in my stress about how stressed out I am about paying artists and doing rewrites and setting up streams and editing breakdowns and feeding my family because they complain that they want to keep eating for some reason. Like, I just fed you last Wednesday. Why? I could do that. Who would blame me? I mean, probably everybody. But what would Superman say? What would Superman say? He would say, well, I mean, sure, that thing didn't work out. But you also got a chance to make an ad. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed you get that. Let's hope for that. And hey, you're rewriting. So that tells me you're still writing, you're still getting to do the thing that you're meant to do. Your comic book campaign is still live, so that's still going on. You still have a place to live. You're still able to stream and talk to your friends. You have 4 amazing kids, a loving spouse, and chickens and dogs, and yeah, you got your health back for the first time in a decade. Sounds like things are going fairly well for you. That sounds great. Congratulations. That's how Superman would look at it. That's a pretty good lesson, wouldn't you say? But the way we keep getting our superheroes shown to us from DC, that's not the lesson we're getting. For example, I'm going to pull up some references to this because I got a big beef about this film and about how Supergirl is portrayed. So Supergirl is sweet. Supergirl is not Superman with boobs. Okay. She does make mistakes, but not like malicious, angry, selfish mistakes. She makes mistakes like, I really want to save that cat in that tree, but I don't quite know how to fly yet or control my flight yet. So I know I should wait, but I really want to save that cat. So she just kind of goes in there, grabs it, and then, whoa, and, funny mistakes ensue. That's Supergirl. She has historically always wanted to be like her cousin Cal. She has always wanted to be a hero. She loves Earth. She is proud to call it her new home. She has adopted Chicago as her home. This version of Supergirl is nothing like that. I got none of that. I have always seen Supergirl as a very good role model. Like, I know I said that Supergirl is not Superman with boobs, but how Superman is a great aspirational character for, men, women, everybody really. I mean, you look at him like, oh, well, Superman would say, look on the bright side. Supergirl is very similar, and I think she is a very good role model for girls, for women. I mean, yeah, you want to rush in and do this thing, but what did Supergirl learn? Maybe we should practice a little bit more. Your heart's in the right place, but let's do this a little more. She leads with love. She always leads with love. That has always been pretty much her foundation. What I got from this film, and it has come out that James Gunn came in and took over. It was not going the way he wanted it to. He took over on set and in post-production, got rid of the editor, brought in his editor from Guardians. So there you have that. She was angry. She was sullen. She was drunk. And she looked like crap all the time. Like, when's the last time you combed your hair, took a shower? We get to see her, like, taking a piss. Why? Why? We are literally putting our superheroes in the toilet. We are putting them in the toilet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you misunderstood me. I have a wonderful breakdown on Supergirl. You should check it out because she's not. I can't sit and do an entire breakdown on Supergirl for you in the time I'm allowed. but there is an entire breakdown for you. Supergirl is funny. And she's done some really weird things. They did some really crazy shit in the Silver Age. Like, here is a Pegasus named Comet who was once a centaur thousands of years ago. Now he is a horse, and he's going to be human for a couple of days, and you're going to date him. And then he's going to be in love with you for the rest of your life. You're going to work on soap operas and be a camera lady. And oh my God, she's had some crazy, crazy shit go on in her lore, and I'm here for it. But anyway, the character they show in this film just is a hot mess, and there's no lesson. There's no lesson. In fact, she goes and she kills Krem, which doesn't happen in the book. The writer doesn't even pay attention to what happens in the book. She's totally wrong. She's totally wrong. They even have her reacting to a green sun like she would kryptonite. But my point is, they did not make her a DC mythological hero. They didn't make her this almost untouchable kind of character. They brought her down into the grime and the muck, and they tried to sell it as, look at this hero, girls. This is a hero. Bring your kindergartners. Come on, little girls. Don't you want to be like this hero? Go on a bar crawl throughout the galaxy? Not shower for a week? Like, make selfish, unethical, abhorrent decisions and kill people? That is not what DC heroes do. And this film is an absolute fine example of what they have been doing to DC heroes for years. They have stolen away the one thing that makes DC heroes so special and so unique, and that the thing that we love about them. Heroes. They're heroes. As a DC fan, as a woman DC fan, as a Supergirl fan, as a woman, I'm like insulted. It doesn't make sense. Like, why is it so hard for them to understand what it is that we enjoy about these heroes? The comic books are right there. I mean, DC is part of DC Studios. You could just pull out any comic book you want. It's practically storyboarded for you. But we should not have people who do not understand nor respect or appreciate these characters, these IPs, in charge of creating them, adapting them into live action. My God, because alone the disrespect to the creators and writers and editors that spent almost 60, 70, 100 years on some of these characters, just kind of like wiping your ass with their work, you know. On top of it, you have a built-in fan base that spent all of this money over all of that time buying those stories, making it valuable enough for Warner Brothers to purchase and say, you know what? Make a movie. It's worth making a movie. These people have spent so much money on it. It's valuable. So make a movie. You have a built-in fan base that expects product. They expect the product you promised, the product they want. And they keep giving them this. A slovenly, angry, bitter, jaded, like disconnected, selfish, greedy, just doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to be a hero. Deconstruction, relatable hero. No mythology, no aspirational aspects, nothing. They bring them down, 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 down. So that they have this modern audience look at them and say, she's just like me. I get shit-faced every weekend too. And then I wake up on someone's couch and I feel sticky. Gross. So gross. Like, learn a lesson here. It's trash. They're not even putting in the right time or quality or passion into it. Look at what they're doing to the Odyssey. That's an actual mythological story. Got to make it relatable. Why? You can make the story relatable with empathy. When you write with empathy, you can make it relatable. But these characters are meant to be aspirational. But I fear that there is no one left in any of these production companies that has the ability to write with empathy because they're all sociopaths. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to make a story empathetic. They've got Lupita Nyong'o saying, I would tell Homer, how do you feel about all these women getting all this screen time, considering how you wrote the book? Well, he'd probably look at you, Lupita, and say, what the fuck is screen time? What's a screen? Nubian, I don't know who the fuck you is. Please get out of my symposium. Women aren't allowed in here. You need to go to the women's quarters and spin wool as you do after dinner. Symposiums are for men because it's 450 BCE, almost, over 2,500 years before your time. And that's how we did things. I don't know what you're talking about. James Gunn should have been fired after Superman. David Cornsweet he's a great casting for Superman. He understands the character. He's a nerd. That man is a nerd, and I love that for us. However, James Gunn does not understand Superman. He doesn't understand any of the DC characters. He did great with Peacemaker season 1 and the Suicide Squad. Those are anti-heroes. He can do anti-heroes-ish. But I think he's done. He did good with Marvel. But DC heroes, the man cannot do them. He does not understand the concept at all. And from what I'm told, he's not that great to work with on set. That makes me sad. That makes me sad. All right. What is the likelihood of you being my time to shine? Hello. I feel like I need to screenshot this because that answer is 0. It's a 0. It's a 0% likelihood. It's not me. I believe it's Daniel RPK, personally. It ain't me, but I don't know if that's anyway. Thank you. Is Ensign Loki, what is your obsession with heavy? I need to scroll up, is what I need to do. I'm going to scroll up like right now. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? Ooh, you guys are chatty. All right. Hey, Danny, have a few questions for you, sister. Now, here's the thing. I like some of your content, not all of it, because you and I clearly have different politics. I don't talk politics, but I'm confused by you, if you mind. Where's the question? Let's see. I don't get the question. The question. She wouldn't tell a person vengeance is the wrong path, and then goes in. Yeah, that was a big issue because yeah, the dogs are barking. I don't know why. Sorry. She tells her vengeance isn't the path, and then goes and murders, which did not happen in the comic. The whole point of the comic they adapted was that Supergirl did have sadness, trauma from losing her family and Krypton, but she handled it well. It was how she handled it. And Ruthie learned how to carry hers with her as well by watching Kara, by learning from her. And they ruined that. They ruined that entirely. Here we go. Gunn needs to take notes from Toy Story, all the films, or the Supergirl show. Samar, she makes smart mistakes, meaning they extraordinary, not cliche trash. Like they make them in the poor products where you go, question, how is she familiar with that? I'm confused by that. She doesn't make selfish mistakes. She doesn't make mistakes like that cost like hundreds of millions of lives and lives. She doesn't out of selfish reasons. You know what I mean? Yeah, we went over that. Supergirl needs to go sometimes. Carl PG, like we all figured he did, and obviously shows Gunn is a one-trick pony. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Alex Clark. Say, well, understandable motivation, ending an origin story as a hopeful character with them murdering someone may be bold, but potentially damaging for building an audience. Exactly. When you're building a character, like the thing I'm worried about with Lanterns is that they are doing parallax. They are doing parallax. I've been saying that for a while. And to kind of come straight out the gate and introduce the normies or general audience to Hal Jordan with this Parallax story where he goes and just straight murders everybody. That is not an introduction to Hal. That's an introduction to Parallax. Dogs. That's an introduction to a villain, not to the most honorable man on planet Earth. He didn't start out as Parallax. He started out as Hal Jordan, the most honorable man on Earth. That's how he got the ring. You don't give it to a piece of shit. You give it to the best of the best. That's how you introduce a hero. That's how you introduce that character. People are tired of it. They're tired of the deconstructed bullshit, as is evident by how poorly Supergirl is doing across the globe. The nerds aren't going to see it. The general audience isn't either. They're tired of it. And ate alien slug poop. Yeah. And then said, this tastes like shit. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Fan cheered. Fan cheered, thinking as women, the boys' influences. Yeah. The boys started doing amazing. They're like, more dick jokes. Let's do more of those. Carl PG. Lieutenant Carl PG. Batman Superman Apocalypse is a good example of what Gunn needed to read before doing the movie. Absolutely agree. I'm not saying, okay, Alex, I'm not saying she shouldn't be aspirational. I'm saying she needs to be distinct from Superman, and that is making her darker and a hard edge because that gives us a better dynamic. No, I disagree entirely. Making her darker and giving her a hard edge, that's not Supergirl. That's a different character. You want to do that, make a different character. It's not Supergirl. Supergirl is a girl. She's a teenage girl. She likes to have fun. She likes to go shopping. Okay? She's still powerful, but like Clark likes to stay home and work on the farm. Supergirl does not care for the farm. It's Country Mouse and City Mouse. There are differences in them, in their personalities. She doesn't have to be dark and remove the things that make her a DC hero and the things that make her a Supergirl, the things that her writers and artists created her to be for the last 60 something years to make her different on screen. There is a reason why fans have been drawn to her all of these years. There is nothing new under the sun, my friend. There is no modern audience. It's all the same. It is all the same. All you have to do is pull out those comic books and find the thing that drew fans to her in the first place. The audience for comic books has always been predominantly male, which means the audience for Supergirl comics has been predominantly male. So it didn't matter how teenage girly she was. It didn't matter how much she enjoyed being a model or working on a soap opera or her stupid little romance storylines. Men still read them. They like her because she's a girl. They like her because she's a woman. They like her because she's a girly girl. Superman didn't have storylines like that. You can still have her on screen and have her different from Clark and not have her dark and moody and pissy and selfish and drunk and a murderer and eating alien shit. I will die on that hill. That is the absolute truth. Lieutenant, plus you don't do Supergirl this bloody early. You wait on her. Have her be a side character in a few films. You start out with the Trinity. It's not that hard. They are the foundation. They're the foundation. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. And then you go from there. Cast Sydney Sweeney as Power Girl and make billions. Easy as that. Ensign Loki, you are correct. 1000%. And you should do it. You should do it the Superman animated series style. You should make her a clone. And make her better. Make her a better version of Kara. Yeah, but have you seen Power Girl's costume? Huh? If you do it right, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Means two things. Hello, Kirk. Because like most shit of this nature, they think it's for kids, so they don't actually read up. Most directors say, I have a general idea on this, and think they have to put their own spin on it. Exactly. I have an interview with Bo DeMaio on this channel from last year. And Bo said that when he started working on X-Men 97 6 years ago, that Marvel told him that people don't want to see the same comic stories over again. They want to see their spin on it. And Bo said, absolutely not. No, they do not. He fought for that. But you're absolutely correct. That's what they think. They think we want to see their spin on it. And it's not true. They believe that. We don't give a shit about your fan fiction. We not once were reading these comics and said, you know what would be great? If we saw this in a movie, but just nothing like this. If it was just get rid of it, if it's completely different. No one ever said that. No, we read those comic books and said, this would be so cool if it was a movie. Like exactly this, but a movie. That would be dope. That's exactly what I was saying. And she had like half a second. She had half a second of screen time in the Spider-Woman costume. Made no point. So, and the thing Ensign Loki brings up with the representation, you know, The Rock was doing that interview with Mark Markian. Is this the gayest Moana ever? He was doing that interview talking about representation. And I think throughout all this representation and inclusion stuff, we have completely lost touch with this notion that you can relate to someone who doesn't look like you. I do it all the time. I did it when I was a kid. Nobody looked like me on TV. Nobody. I grew up never seeing uh, a kid with a leg lengthening device or tiny bones or messed up feet or fake legs on TV. No ethnically ambiguous crippled kids on screen. You know, I never saw that, and it never was like, "Oh, I'm so sad I don't see this." But it didn't stop me from relating to characters. They don't have to look like you to be represented. You can relate to anyone if you just talk to them. Just listen, just talk to people. Use your imagination. It's called empathy. And Hollywood has stopped writing with empathy. Again, I just broke a nail. That really hurt. Because this I reference this book a lot because this is important. The art of fiction is important. And one of the biggest things in how to write fiction is learning to write with empathy. And I'm not saying it may not mean what you think it means. You keep saying that word, it doesn't mean what you think it means. It's writing a character or a story in a way that makes your audience feel empathy. Not you feeling empathy. I mean, I guess you do have to feel empathy to write it, but writing with empathy means knowing how to pull empathy from your audience, from your readers, whomever. Hollywood's a bunch of sociopaths. They don't know how to do it anymore. A sociopath is someone who doesn't feel empathy. So, well, I'm going to have to disagree with you there, and so do a lot of people, Alex. Because if this was so interesting, then Supergirl and this last Superman and all these other deconstructed down-to-earth heroes would be making billions and billions of dollars. DC Comics, the way DC Comics was virtually untouchable. Superman with Christopher Reeve made a lot of money. And he was Superman. That was written as Superman, as an aspirational, mythological character. Audiences crave that again. We don't want reality anymore, per se. We have enough of it. We don't watch films and series. We don't watch these fictional series and stuff, and not even nonfiction, really, to focus on reality. We do it to escape. It's escapism. There's another concept, another writing concept called universal fantasy. There are several different types of universal fantasy. And you use those to draw audiences in because every demographic, every person reacts to, or what's the word I'm looking for because we're winding down here, relates to, in a way, to a certain universal fantasy. It's there. And seeing an all-powerful character who could do and whatever they want, go wherever they want, sit and slum it and have problems and be sad like you, that's not a fantasy. You don't want that. You want to look at them doing great things. You want to see a fantasy. You want to escape. the shit you're dealing with, the stress of your day, the argument you had with your spouse or your boss, the teenager you're having to deal with at home that's not cleaning their room or smart mouthing or whatever your problems are. Everyone's got problems. Everyone has a reality they want to escape for an hour to 2 hours at a time. I mean, that's why I got into comic books in the first place. I was a disabled child being cut apart and put back together again, stretched and pulled, and I'm not exaggerating, for years at a time, living in a children's orthopedic hospital. And I got into comic books because it gave me a fantasy I could escape to for 15 to 20 minutes at a time. I could escape. I could escape my reality 15 to 20 minutes at a time. That's what film, fiction, series are. And they are taking that escapism from us. No, no, no. You will listen to my ideology. No, no, no. You are going to get whacked in the head with the lesson I'm going to teach you. So instead of giving you an idea to think about and presenting it as options for you to mull over and discuss, we're going to whack you with it. And there's going to be no lesson. There's going to be no entertainment value. There's going to be no real story. We are going to take the characters that have been beloved for almost 100 years, and we are going to rip them apart and bring them right back down to earth and make them relatable and realistic. So there's no more escapism. That's not universal fantasy. Go make reality TV, which is also scripted and stupid, and I hate it. If you want a character that is darker, harder edges, make one. That's not Supergirl. Supergirl already exists. She was already created. She's already been written by many writers, many creators. And it is not anyone's place to tell those people that they are incorrect. No more than it is someone's place to tell me that I'm incorrect in making Emma Hogan an amputee with a weaponized prosthetic leg. Or that Last Dance of the Hesperides should take place in ancient Greece. It's mine. It's my brain baby. It came out of my head. It's the same thing with comic book characters. Yeah, other writers wrote them. They added to the lore, but these are legacy characters. They have existed for almost 100 years, and they have a fan base to prove it that has shelled out money making these IPs so valuable that giant corporations like Warner Brothers fought and bid and won purchasing them because they came with fans like us that do things like this. So when you go and you decide, well, you know what? No. Everyone who created her and wrote her is wrong. Millions of fans all over the world is wrong. I mean, really, who's the one who sounds more incorrect in that argument? This one's got hundreds of, almost 100 years worth of lore, millions of fans, people who have already written her and said, canon. And Then you have a couple of guys who have said, well, I think that might be boring. So for this modern audience, we need to make her different. Then make a different character. It's that simple. Don't make Supergirl, because it's clear you don't want Supergirl. It's just how it is. I can't get over you thinking I might be my time to shine. Hello. That's really funny. Who? What? What is happening? Who are you even talking? What? What is happening? I don't even know. Oh, Fernando. Which franchise between Toy Story, Shrek, and Minions will start to decline first in the box office? I haven't seen any of them. Shrek. That's a wild guess. That is a wild guess. I froze up. Did I freeze up? What are my I do have a question. What are your top 3 DC heroes? Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. No, I'm sorry. I do really love Wonder Woman. Like, I have her tattooed everywhere. Oh, I'm such a non-denominational nerd. I love Wonder Woman. I love Dr. Fate. I love Dr. Fate. Oh, who do I have right here? I love John Stewart, Green Lantern. In fact, let's see. Let's check. Probably Batman too. Let's see what I have. Ooh, I've got some old X-Men Avengers here. I mean, that's not DC, obviously. Oh, I've got the whole run. Ooh, I got some Warlock. Look at that. Here we go. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? And yeah, I would have to say it's Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Batman, because I had to have my Chuck Dixon Batman at my desk. I have a couple Chuck Dixon Batmans. I'm knocking things over now. I have comic books everywhere. Like, I have some on my desk. I have them back on the lower shelf, you can see right there. And then I have some on a top shelf there. And then I have a long box over there. They're literally everywhere. I have a problem. It's a good problem to have, though. And I read, oh no, Supergirl. Anyway, see you in a month when the lanterns drop. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, yes. So I've had Graham Nolan on. I'm working on getting Chuck Dixon on. I do have he signed my Nightwing comic, and he drew a doodle on the back card. So exciting. So exciting. I loved Sinners. What does that have to do with fucking politics? Like, I feel like you're just trying to start shit, man. Like, I don't talk politics. My name is Comics and when you try to force that issue, it's very irritating. I put a lot of work into what I do, into this channel. I don't know if you realize how much work that takes. Not just the live streams, but the pre-recorded content, as well as my writing, my comic book. I do not talk politics. Period. End of discussion. I loved Sinners. Anyone who has been here for less than 5 minutes would know that I love Sinners. In fact, I tell people that if you love Sinners, you would probably love my comic book. But I don't sit and talk about politicians or any of that. I will tell you that I do not like having things injected into storylines. Just entertain. I don't see how that's politics. This is not a political channel. So if you have an issue, please go to my website, go ahead and reach out, send me a message. But I work very hard on this channel. It takes a lot of time away from my family. So, yeah, it sounds like he wants Batwoman, but not the one Ruby Rose played. God. He's saying because it was the same thing, Maria. And good morning. He's saying he does the same kind of movie. Yeah. Yeah, it's still kind of Catwoman. Catwoman, Batwoman. Have you not seen the news? He took over. Because he took over. That's why people keep bringing him up. Craig Gillespie and other people who worked on Supergirl have said that Gunn came in and took over on set and post-production. It wasn't going, they bumped heads creatively. It wasn't going the way that James Gunn saw it. So he came in and took over. That's what happened. So he shows a very gleeful Supergirl who loves to shop, wants a boyfriend, loves ice cream and hot. Really? Interesting. I wonder why they didn't do that in live action. Yes, that's what I meant. Dirty. Men will definitely show up. Yes. Maybe begin with the movie with Supergirl envisioning killing Krem. Then at the end of the actual movie, she has taken a journey which teaches her not to actually do it. That would have been better. Yeah, that would have been better. Oh. Hi, Kino. Boy, you're missing a day. Hi, Mama. How was Minions? It was good? Yay! Madam Web was terrible. Madam Web was terrible. I grew up in Shriners in St. Louis. You shut your mouth. I have scoliosis. And I've got like a whole bunch of shit wrong with me. Let's just say that. My bones are a whole mess and my legs, but I'm a Shriners kid. I grew up there. True story. What the crap, man. That's super cool. Very, very cool. I'm not frozen. Good. I like Wonder Girl. She's just not one of my top 3. Oh, so much chat. So much chat. It did. I can't wait to check it. I can't wait to check it. Say, unlike Danny, I play into the stupidity that people give. What did you think of politics? Me, black people were in it. So 0 out of 10. What? What is wrong with you? Why did I put that up there? Why would you say something like that? You're a black man. Why would you say that? Why are you doing this to me? Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. We've been here 2.5 hours. It's time for me to go. I got so much to do. I got to get to editing and all kinds of stuff. And my daughter is texting me. Yeah, Sinners was good. I liked Sinners. Like, was someone trying to call me a schmachist? Because, fun fact, Mexican. Mexican American. Doesn't like to get up early in the morning, so I do it real slow. Oh, people. Anyway, yes, it was good. It was good. Wow, guys. Today was a hoot. Thank you, Alex. I'm so glad you're here. You guys are awesome today. Oh, man. And thank you for the defense. Uh, Mexican Americans take Spanish in school and get a B. I get an F. I get an F. Me habla español muy poquito. Muchas gracias for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Fen Cheered. Hashtag Safe Stargate. I'll give you one more.
You know that bitter taste in your throat? It's kind of wrapped around your uvula? That's what's left of your pride. I've got a better idea. Instead of helping you, why don't we sit back and watch you get your ass kicked? That way you'll be dead, and we'll be glad.
Oh, God, you guys are great. All right, guys, I got to go. Do me a favor, help support the channel. I mean, the super chats, super stickers, super thanks, those are all super appreciated and they help big time. If you can't do that, I get it. I do. Becoming a member, also a great way to welcome to the new members that joined today. We got like 3 new members today. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thursday is the members only watch parties. We're probably going to do a members only streams on Fridays. I'm going to put polls up here in a minute. Liking this video or this stream, liking the stream, subscribing if you haven't done that already. Sharing is caring. That lets our algorithm overlords know that you're picking up what I'm throwing down and you think more people should as well. There's also that QR code right there in the upper hand corner. That will take you to buymeacoffee.com/comics and MUA, and you can tip me as little or as much as you like. And the proceeds go to literally helping me keep the lights on here and helping me pay Evan, my artist, to keep making my comic book, Veiled Legacy, Book 1, Midwest Gothic, which also is going across your screen right now, where you can pre-order or back the campaign. You can back the campaign for as little as $1 whole, and your name goes in the back of the book. And as the tiers go up, $10 is a digital copy, $25 is a physical copy, $50 is a signed, a custom, personalized, autographed copy. All of the tiers before stack. So you get your name in the back, a digital and the physical. So check that out. And soon we're going to have a cover, and then we're going to have special edition covers. I'm so excited. So do me a favor, help make this happen. Go to the link that's going across your screen at the bottom. Look in the description below. Help make Veiled Legacy happen. And you can do buy me a coffee also to help that as well. There's also, no, you don't want to see that. That one's a lie. There's also the Patreon where you get exclusive behind the scenes access to everything that goes on behind the scenes with making the Veiled Legacy universe. That includes the comic book and the novellas. So the comic book is Midwest Gothic. And then I have a second one that the script I've already written, but it hasn't gone through the editing process or anything. So that's going to be a 10-book arc. Okay. And I'm very excited about it. But anyway, all the rough sketches, thumbnails, previews, everything goes on Patreon. Everything. Scripts, rough drafts, line edits from my editor, Caro Brown. All of that. I even put up polls where you guys get to name things or pick covers. Like right now, we have a poll going on at the Patreon where you guys get to pick the first cover for Midwest Gothic. So go on over to patreon.com/comicsand, sign up for one of our 4 tiers, starting as little as $3 in a month, where you will also get exclusive Veiled Legacy merch for the first 3 months of your membership for the next year that you will not get anywhere else. You cannot get Veiled Legacy merch anywhere. Only here when you sign up. Sorry. There is also the official comics and mug at the official comics and merch store right here on the YouTube app. Just scroll over to store and you'll see all the stuff right there. You can also go to comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. It's all the same, but it's right there. Official comics and mug. Just scroll over. I have an Amazon storefront and I have an entire folder dedicated to Rippaverse books. So if you're looking for Rippaverse comics, books, even like some of Eric's music, apparently, and Leyline's music, go to amazon.com/shop/comics and ... That's my store. There is a list for Rippaverse, recommended reading, movies, series, podcasting, special effects, skincare, cosmetics, household stuff. I think farming even. I have so many lists. So if there's actually a list of stuff, like, oh, and there's collectibles and nerdy things. Aaron Sparrow actually helped me with that. But if there's a list, something specific you would like me to make a list of recommendations, let me know. But check out my Amazon storefront right there. I get a little kickback for doing that, and that helps me out tremendously. Everything I have told you about is on my website, comics-and.com. It is everything Comics And. It's me, the channel, the comic book, all of it right there in one place. If you need to get a hold of me, all my links, everything right there, comics-and.com. This podcast is powered by the Red 5 Network. We are a collective of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators here to educate and entertain you. So if you like this podcast, chances are you are going to like more of what the Red 5 Network has to offer you. So go check out red5.bio.link.com or just red5.bio.link to discover more of the Red 5 family of podcasts. Final chat check. Yeah, Omari just told me I'm going to check it as soon as I get done. I love Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. Allons-y. That's French for let's go. I speak better French than Spanish. It's a true story. But anyway, guys, do good things. Okay? Make sure you go support the comic book. Don't look at my arm jiggle because I lost 80 pounds. I was doing my rows today to try and tone. But make sure you go and support Veiled Legacy, even if it's just $1. Seriously, Just $1, and you can back the campaign. So go support the campaign, do good things, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
This is my veil legacy. Blood on the threshold, fire in me. Sunlight cuts, but I don't break. You took my past, I'll take your fate. I lost everything that night, but I'm still standing on my feet. You made me into something strong. Now you answer to me. Whoa, na 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 na. Whoa.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!